All right, man. I've been thinking about doing this video for a long time. It's your boy Y2 Cam, by the way. And pretty much, I've been thinking because I see a lot of Twitter when they talk about anime or online, they always bring these certain animes up, and I just think they stare straight up trash, garbaggio. So I'm gonna just jump right into it. Fairy Tale. Now, when I heard about Fairy Tale, I thought people were hyping it up, making it seem like it was the livest in the world, right? And I watched the first episode, and it kind of gave me it was like a combination of One Piece because they had like the wanted posters or whatever. It reminded me of Naruto at the same time. But then at some point in the series, when I was watching it, Clue, the little dude with the cone nose, fell out of a portal, and that was it for me. I never went back. I hate Fairy Tale for the rest of my life. You don't know who Clue is, right? I guess this is the same dude who made Rave Master. Bottom line, Rave Master, I hated Rave Master. You know why? Cause of Clue. Clue. Like, bro, he was in that the whole time making that noise. And I think he's constantly like shivering or something. Like, that's just so annoying. Like, so as soon as I seen him fall out of the little portal, nope. It's forever trash to me. Like, then when they show like YouTube montages, like the best anime fights, or they be having like conversations on YouTube, like who can beat who, I always see the main character from Fairy Tale. I'm like, bro, no, bro, like, go somewhere. This shit whack, man. It's weak. It's garbage. Y'all, Clue messed it up for everybody. And on top of that, bro, I see the fights and it just don't look appealing to me. It don't look dope. It don't look like it's hitting for real. I don't care about this dragon in his belly or fire from this dragon or whatever they got going on. I'm pretty sure it's got some exciting parts, but for the most part, nah. Nope. Not for me, man. Fairy Tale garbage. And if you watching Fairy Tale, man, I'm gonna call the police on you. Because you need to be evaluated. A psych evaluation of why you like Fairy Tale. But Fairy Tale is trash. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at the creator for not making it too good. My next anime that I think is trash, completely garbage. Hunter x Hunter or Hunter x Hunter. Now let me tell you something. People, I love Yu Yu Hakusho. I love it. People act like this is the best anime on earth. Like it says something so deep to them. It says something so incredible, and it's just so moving and so mind-blowing. But watch the entirety of the Hunter x Hunter series until it was placed on hiatus or canceled. Trash. Overrated, overhyped. So it start off like a regular adventure anime, right? And then it feel like a battle royale when they do the hunter exam or whatever like that. Then it feel like a Pokemon game when they do the Greed Island, when they got the cards. It feel like a card game. Then it feels like a more serious anime when they get to the city and they doing that little I think it's called York New City. I can't remember. Then it feels like a tournament anime, shonen regular shonen tournament anime when they do the tournament and little thing, and you got to keep going up the floors. Then it feel like another anime when they do a Chimera Ant arc, and then it feels like a whole another anime when they do the election arc. But it's all over the place. It's no consistent type of theme to the anime. It's just all over the place. It feels like every time you start a new arc, it feels like a whole new show, and that sounds good, but it's like, bruh, it's like reading a comic book and they keep switching creators. You know what I'm saying? If anybody's used to reading comic books from back in the day, it feels like that. Another problem, everybody talks about the Chimera Ants like that was like the deepest anime of all time, like the deepest arc and the metaphor for life. But that shit was weak. Like, then they had the main fight with the dude who looked like Cell and the old dude. I don't remember their names because I didn't care to retain the knowledge of the character names. I don't care. But the fight, first of all, was so trash, right? You would expect for this fight to be the best fight you ever saw, especially how they was hyping up dude, and they was hyping up the little Cell looking dude like, okay, they finna bang. No, they didn't even fight for real. The narrator told you what they was doing and how tight it was. Powering up and using his power. He sensed the power, so he also powered up. Like, get out of here, bro. Like, then, like, I just didn't really care about the Chimera Ants and what their goal was. I don't care that he had a friend with the little girl and found humanity and all that, bro. Get out of here. Now, I do understand that, you know, in the manga it's got a little further and it sounds doper. They go into the the bigger world or whatever, but it's too little too late, man. And y'all Y'all definitely need to stop hyping up this anime, bro. It's not the deepest or the dopest thing you ever seen in your life. And if it is, you need to watch more anime. But Hunter x Hunter for sure. I cannot stand that anime, bro. Man, like, I just can't. I just like the mere look of these characters make me angry because people was hyping up this anime so much. They was talking about how good it was and how dope it was and how hype it was going to be once it reached, you know, anime adaptation, which by the way they have a 90s version as well. Well, of course I don't blame that on the quality of the anime because the creator just likes to chill. So y'all better hope another Dragon Quest don't come out no time soon. Y'all ain't gonna never get to the bottom of what's going on in Hunter x Hunter. One Piece will be finished before Hunter x Hunter is finished, that's for sure. But regardless of the fact it's trash, get it out of here. Next anime, Bleach. Now I liked Bleach. Now don't get me wrong, I was into Bleach. I was watching it when it was on Toonami. I was watching it when it was coming on then. I watched Bleach twice, 3 times really, because what was happening on Toonami, right? They'll show it all the way up to Ichigo get to the Soul Society, save Rukia, and then it'll stop. I guess they didn't have enough episodes or it was catching up to the manga, so they'd start over. And then they went on a hiatus for a long time. Then they started it back, right? And I watched it all the way up until that point again, and then I just said, you know what, if it's coming, if you can watch this online, I'm gonna watch it online. So that's what I did. What messed Bleach up for me, right, is when they got to the filler for the Bound arc. Now right before that, Ichigo just unlocked his Bankai, right? That's dope. That's like Goku turning Super Saiyan for the first time. You do not expect to see him to get beat up or struggle with an opponent right off the bat, and if you do, that seems like a significant villain. They messed it up because they had it so hyped and people was waiting so long for Bleach to come back that when he achieved this Bankai and then they went to the bound arc and they fought the main guy who was a filler villain, you already seen him struggle with his Bankai. So then when it jumps back into the main storyline, Ichigo using his Bankai is like nothing now. It's like, okay, what's the next power up? So he got the little mask, but it wasn't a shock no more to see him get beat with his Bankai form get beat. And because of that, bro, it just turned me off the series. Like the filler just was like, and I appreciate the effort they put into the filler, don't get me wrong, but the filler itself was like, they were doing the filler like it was just as important as the main story. And I feel like you gotta have a balance. You gotta have a filler. If you're gonna do filler, I at least feel like you should do like a flashback or like side characters, what they doing throughout the day, or have a slice of life episode. Because if you try to make it too serious and make it seem like the main story, you mess around and get it mixed up. So when the main story is going along and it does something different than the filler, you got to jump head over heels to make sure that the filler now aligns with what's going on with the manga, or the people who are invested in that story won't really be invested or confused with what's going on there. So for that reason alone, for me, man, Bleach really bothered me. It ain't bothered me, it just, I feel like it was trash after that. Like I wasn't feeling it. And then they started getting on track and they started doing this, and then I feel like it was too many variations of a Soul Reaper. So you had Soul Reapers, you had the Visors, I think they was called, you had the Quincy's, you had the other dudes who used to be Hollow started turning into like Soul Reaper type dudes. Then you had Soul Reaper dudes who started turning into Hollow. Like, bro, it was just too much, too many different variations of the same thing. They should have kept it at least 3, but then they just kept making it more and more and more and more and more the same thing. So for that reason alone right there, I know like hardcore fans can explain that and hammer home the message about that, but for me personally, bro, I just feel like they just kept doing too much of the same thing. And for that reason, nah, Bleach, get up out of here. Next, I know it's gonna hurt a lot of people's feelings, Naruto. Again, these is all series that I've watched. It's not like I'm just outside looking in and hating on the series. I watched Naruto from when it was on Toonami, and I started watching Naruto when it was online. I was watching Naruto back when that the subgroup was doing the subs for Naruto Shippuden, and they was playing around about when they was gonna put the episode out. So they'd be like, okay, it's coming out tonight, psych, you gotta pay us $50. They was just like trolling. And then when I think it was Viz took over for the subtitles, that's when they tried to get their act together, but by that time it was too late. So I'm in deep with Naruto. I got the Naruto Storm games. The problem with Naruto is that the investment that you put into the story did not pay off, and this is what I mean. So of course they start off slow. Naruto got the nine-tailed fox. What is the nine-tailed fox? Why isn't any? What happened to the what was the fourth Hokage? What happened to his parents? All this type of stuff. And then as it kept building up, you know, you had like a not an antagonistic type relationship, but he just had a rival in Sasuke, and he had a girl that he wanted in Sakura, and he was gonna be the next Hokage. Simple. Then they started building up. I appreciate the build up. Orochimaru took an interest in Sasuke, and he wanted him to come with him and give him the curse mark. Naruto started powering up. They met Gaara. He has a tail beast in him too, so now they starting to expand on that. Orochimaru defected from the village. Okay, he's looking like the main villain. And then they just kind of went off the rails. So they just kind of started feeling like villain of the week after that. So let me explain what I mean. So first, Orochimaru seems like the main big bad guy. So he's doing something nefarious. We don't know what his true plans are, and he wants Sasuke for some reason. So that's already adding to the rivalry of Sasuke and Naruto, because Naruto's starting to gain his powers and his strength and understanding of who he is as a character. He still got mysteries. Sasuke wants to know why Itachi, you know, killed everybody in the village, this, that, and the third. But then, oh, now it's the Akatsuki, and Orochimaru's a part of them. So now he's a part of a bigger conglomerate of villains. Cool. And what's their plans? We don't know. We're going to figure it out. All right, cool. I was with that. But it got to a point, right, where they started beating the Akatsuki villains. And when they got to Obito being the main leader after Pain, it just went off the rails, because now it's Madara. Oh, he's back for some reason. We don't know how he came back. There was really no real reason why Orochimaru took an interest in Sasuke, other than the fact that he wanted his body, and he did all of this extra scientific work on people for no reason. He's just like a background villain now. He's doing this, that, and the third. They got rid of him. Itachi, now he's more complex, but it's more convoluted. He was doing it for the love of the village, blah blah blah. There's no real reason why they didn't tell Naruto who his parents was. They just didn't tell him for no reason. The Hokage didn't want to tell him. And then it all came to a head. Like, I would have been fine with Madara being the final villain. Like, okay, I was rolling my eyes for a lot, because I liked Pain. I feel like he was a good villain. He was a perfect parallel to Naruto. What happens when, you know, you go off the deep end and you don't got that persevering spirit, or like the people around you to kind of pull you up. You don't got the friends around you. I feel like he was the perfect villain. He did the most damage out of everybody, destroyed the village. But I digress. So they got him out of here. Madara's the main villain, and Obito's over here. Cool. Then all of a sudden, a lady from space came and started the entirety of the Naruto franchise. So basically, it's the Tree of Might. If you haven't seen the Tree of Might Dragon Ball Z movie, they came to Earth, right? And they plant a tree, and it absorbs all the Earth's energy, and then you eat the fruit and you get a power up. That's similar, same thing. Or if you want to go into its real analog, is the biblical story of the Garden of Eden in a sense. But it's like, bro, how did we go from ninjas and, you know, learning ninjutsu and just kind of figuring out the little regular main grounded mysteries to now people from space? You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't even feel like it's part of the same world that they crafted. And I feel like once they did that, bro, it just was no point after that. It just didn't make sense why they would do that. Like, they have multiple villains that they could have just went forward with, and it still would have been satisfying. I felt like the chick from space just felt like she was an ass pull, just came out of nowhere. And I feel like, you remember the show Lost? Well, I don't know if you do or not, but it was good. They laid down some mysteries or whatever, but when the writer's strike happened, they couldn't work on it. Once the writer's strike came back, it didn't feel the same. And that's how Naruto felt. Like, once it reached a certain point, it just felt like he just started pulling stuff out of thin air and just making characters up as it went. I didn't really like that, and I felt like I've wasted so much time getting hype and getting excited about Naruto to the point where the payoff wasn't worth it. You know, yeah, he became the Hokage, but like, the main villain just didn't even count. And if you want to extend it to Boruto, like, why is y'all letting Orochimaru just hang around the village but Sasuke can't come back? He didn't really do anything wrong but leave the village. And if you look at the anime, I leave the village too. All the stuff they was doing. But for that reason alone, man, Naruto is a waste of time to me, because the payoff isn't worth it. The payoff doesn't feel like it's a part of the anime. The payoff feels like it was just something thought of at the last minute to kind of throw you for a loop instead of give you the payoff. Like I would have been satisfied if they just kind of like beat Orochimaru at the end and got Sasuke back, beat the Akatsuki, and you know, kind of solve every mystery and that was it, or beat Pain. You know what I'm saying? That was a dope thing too. Like I would have been cool with once he beat Pain, the village came around him and congratulated him, and then just kind of used Kakashi as the interim Hokage until Naruto was ready, and it would have ended. It would have been perfect, but they have to keep dragging it on, and for that reason, Naruto is a bad show to me. Now, for my last anime, and it hurts me to say this, the entirety of the Dragon Ball franchise. Now, let me tell you something. Dragon Ball is like Star Wars in the sense that it's beloved by a lot of people. It's a very popular franchise, but it should have stopped. It should have just been over with. It should not have continued to run, because now fan expectations are ridiculously high, and everybody wants something different, and it's not necessarily the vehicle that can provide all these expectations. Let me tell you what I mean. People like to say that Dragon Ball Super gives you character development. No, it doesn't. This isn't the anime for character development. It's a fighting anime. Niggas throw hands. That's all you watch it for, the power-ups and the throwing of hands. You don't watch it for deep story and intricate plot lines. That's not what it is about. Dragon Ball wasn't. Don't get me wrong. They have continuing plot lines and they did have interesting stories, but they were just surface level. They wasn't that deep. They didn't require you to think so hard. They didn't require you to kind of go through the emotions for these characters. They're very one-dimensional, and that's fine. It's what it is. So this is what I mean, right? These are the problems I had with Dragon Ball as a franchise, right? So we start off with Dragon Ball was cool. I'm not a big fan of like the comedy parts, but when they got to the tournaments and when they was throwing hands with niggas, that was dope. They get to Dragon Ball Z. Raditz pulls up and beats Piccolo. Cool. Everybody shows up to fight Nappa and Vegeta when they come. Cool. Goku and all them go to Namek and fight Frieza. But at some point, it just started to be about Goku and Vegeta and nobody else. Piccolo didn't get a power up since the Kami fusion. Tien, Yamcha, Chaozu, Krillin, Launch disappeared. She doesn't even show up anymore. I don't even think they remember she is alive or exists, other than like filler moments when Goku's doing a spirit bomb. They stopped giving them any type of power-ups. After the Cell Saga, Gohan flopped. You know, he got strong, he looked cool, but he didn't do nothing. And it just started to be about Goku and Vegeta. And I noticed that the quality in Dragon Ball Z started to fall off when I was watching the movies. Now, at this time, everybody was aware that Dragon Ball as a franchise was finished in Japan, so they were done in the 90s. We were still getting Dragon Ball Z in 2003, I believe. But if you start watching the movies, the fall off occurs right around the Broly movie. Like, Broly was cool, but it was missing something. It just felt off. You know what I'm saying? It didn't feel like the same hype Dragon Ball stuff that we was used to. And BoJack was all right, but it was still starting to fall off. But it started going downhill, especially the one with Tapion. That was horrible. Bio Broly, horrible. The Android 13, horrible. It just boils down to, let's get everybody out the way so Goku can pull up and finish it. It's not no dope fight choreography. It isn't no, like, other people don't get no time to shine. It's Vegeta get beat up until Goku ready to finish the villain. Piccolo gets smacked down when he pull up, but he's there, you know what I'm saying? And that's not what it was like in Dragon Ball. Piccolo was a major threat. He was a villain for a while, you know what I'm saying? And then to top it off, GT came out and it was a big disappointment. You know it was a disappointment because Funimation cut a lot of episodes because they knew the expectations for Dragon Ball GT was so high that people did not want to see them going on an adventure, let alone Goku turn into a little boy again. They did not want to scale down to Dragon Ball because in America, we didn't start with Dragon Ball, so we wasn't ready for it to go back to where they used to be. I watched Dragon Ball when it came on Funimation, and I love Dragon Ball, but even I wasn't feeling that. Like, all right, bro, we just had Super Saiyan 3, we just had Majin Buu, now we gotta go scale down. Like, that's another problem. So GT got out of there, and then they started coming out with these little stupid side story movies like Vegeta has a brother. Now all of a sudden the story of Bardock which was cool, that got retconned and he ends up being the legendary Super Saiyan for some reason on a planet. Like all of this stupid shit that's unnecessary. Like these little anniversary specials were being terrible, but people kept asking for more Dragon Ball, more Dragon Ball. And you know these companies, man, once you ask for it, they're gonna be like, all right, bro, we gonna give it to you. Don't worry, we got you. But they don't got us, bro. Like the Battle of the Gods, Super Saiyan God Goku looks stupid. He looks like he's Kaioken. Like the expectations that we have for Dragon Ball Z and beyond didn't pan out. And then we see, you know, it's still like, then they go to the future. Trunks is weak. He didn't do any progress. He didn't progress at all. Like it's just a bunch of stories just to be stories. Even the Tournament of Power, like it was all right, but Android 17, like why even bring him? And then they continue to bring back Frieza over and over and over and over and over again. Like Frieza was a decent villain. He was a landmark villain that pushed Goku to go Super Saiyan, and it closed the chapter on the whole Saiyan saga about what happened to them, and they finally got their revenge or whatever, blah blah blah. The problem is they started to use Frieza as like if you're familiar with wrestling, to get over. So when they had the filler, Pycon pulled up and they smacked Frieza down just to show you how strong he is. They had another like episode, like I think Dragon Ball GT or something like that. Frieza got smacked down by Gohan just to go to show you again, oh well, you know, that he ain't no issue no more. Like everybody done surpassed him. But then they brought him back after all this time, after giving us Cooler and showing that he was even stronger and he had a better form. But now he turned gold, and oh, it was just because he never used his potential. Like, bro, get out of here. Like, bro, like if that's the case, bring back Cell. Cell was a more interesting villain to me than Frieza. Like, man, like, they just keep bringing him back, and then they had him join the crew. I don't care if it was for the Tournament of Power or not. That's just weak. Like, why couldn't this was the perfect time to show Piccolo have some type of new Namek ability. What about the humans? You know, maybe Tien could have unlocked, you know, they could have had something like maybe like the power of the human spirit is the equivalent of the like Super Saiyan. Nah, it's just a bunch of stuff now. It's just going on longer and longer and longer, and the animation to me is flat. And I can't draw, so you know I can't really be saying nothing, but it's my expectation. It's like, bro, the animation is flat. It looks like a cartoon. The fight choreography is weak. It's just like, man, at this point Dragon Ball was better off ending in the 90s for Japan and ended in the 2000s for me. So for sure, out of all these anime, Naruto, Fairy Tail, Bleach, for sure Dragon Ball is the worst, just for the fact that it just continues to drag on. It's Dragon Ball Z is like the Japanese Simpsons, in the sense that, you know, you grew up with the Simpsons. You it's past this time, it's past this glory, it's not good anymore. But do you really not want to have no more Simpsons? You know what I'm saying? Like, you in the house chilling one day and you flicking channels and, oh, the Simpsons on, I'll catch an episode. It's whack, but you know what I'm saying? It's like the dog that you grew up with. You don't want to put him to sleep, but he is just out of here. You know what I'm saying? So for sure, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball as a franchise, a staff, record label, and as a motherfucking crew is trash. So these is my top trash anime. I'm a little tired, but I definitely have to get this off my chest because I see a lot of people defend these anime and act like it's the best thing since sliced bread. So that's an old ass statement. Side note, like, bro, you know how boring that shit was? Sliced bread came out and niggas was like, bro, this is the best thing I ever seen. And niggas was just talking, oh, this is the best thing since sliced bread. Like, wow. We really underestimate, or we really don't appreciate how good we got it, man. A lot of stuff that can keep us occupied and entertained. That's neither here nor there. Just that terminology kind of threw me off. But yeah, man, so trash. Those anime is trash dumpster juice. I'm gonna do another anime video where anime you should be watching. I'm gonna culture you people. I'm gonna get you guys right where you need to be. Crunchyroll took my other video down, but it's all good because we back. and we're gonna put a good video out for you guys. And trust me, you guys are gonna appreciate me because I'm gonna put y'all onto some anime that expands your mind and actually show you some good quality anime, so you don't be watching space rabbits planting trees, or fake cell characters and having the fight narrated, or they little butler that's a black girl. I wasn't feeling that. Hunter x Hunter, what's up with that? Or the Goku and Vegeta show, you know what I'm saying? Or Fairy Tale, the trash show that nobody likes. But yeah, man, it's your boy Y2Cam. Just wanted to throw this video out. Rage at me in the comments, people. I will feed off your rage. Or do you agree with me? You know what I'm saying? And I'm out. Peace.